Ugh.
Yes, things are fine. Let me hold on, I have to proofread this email. I proofread emails like 6 times before I send them.
OCD.
No, I don't. It's not OCD.
Okay.
Making sure that proper grammar,
6 times.
syntax, structure,
Just making
punctuation.
sure the oven's off.
It's all very important, especially when you're writing. When you're writing to someone that you've just hired, you want to come off like an idiot with incomplete sentences.
You have your whole family in the house. They don't want to burn them up because you left the oven on.
And dangling participles. Is that a thing?
What is a dangling participle? Is that
I don't know.
Oh, is that wait, is that when you end a sentence with like at or in or? I don't think so. I'm gonna look it up. I should know.
You look it up. You should know because you taught this language to people.
I did.
You set people on a path of failure. They left thinking, I know English now. This is amazing. That nice lady teacher taught me everything I need to know. And they got in the real world and they sent emails that were poorly constructed.
Oh, it's absolutely not that. Okay, so a modifier or a phrase that describes another word or phrase. So, here's an example. Flashing lightning and thunder, the little bunny struggled through the storm. And then it says, flashing lightning and thunder, the storm raged as the bunny struggled. I like the first one better, but I don't know if it's right. I don't know which one's right or wrong.
I didn't hear any of it. I apologize. I was reading the email.
It's okay.
Let's plan on you starting at 10 a.m. your time next Friday.
Let's plan on starting.
It won't be a full day, but you can still bill for 8 hours.
What a nice guy.
Okay, sent.
Having finished my dinner, the waitress offered to bring out the dessert tray. I can't figure this out. What the fuck is this? A modifier or modifying phrase is a word or phrase that explains or describes a word. Dangling or misplaced modifiers are words, phrases, or clauses that do not point clearly to the word or words they modify. Oh. Putting on my pajamas, a mouse ran across the floor. Oh, so you don't know whether I'm putting on my pajamas or the mouse is putting on the pajamas.
Yes, it's an adjective that unintentionally modifies the wrong noun in a sentence.
Okay, so like, let's see. Oh, here's another example. After running the marathon, Joe felt exhausted. So that's supported. Cleaning out the messy drawer, Sue felt a sense of satisfaction because she cleaned out the drawer. All right, looking around the yard, dandelions sprouted in every corner. So you don't know whether... So it seems like the dandelions are looking around.
Got it.
Fun! Okay, what is the thing I said with the ending a sentence in a preposition? That's different.
Fun.
You don't find this interesting?
I mean, I find it interesting, yes, but I think about the first few minutes of the show being the hook. This is really when we got to get people.
It's a bad hook. My bad.
And people tuning in. I'm proofreading an email and you're running through dangling participles.
You know what? This is our life. You know what I'm saying? This is just how it goes. Welcome. I hope you like it.
I have my email set so it doesn't send for 30 seconds. Like I press send.
Insanity.
Well, sometimes after you press send, you're glancing over it and you see something and you say, holy shit, and you can undo the send.
Totally get it, babe.
Look, just because you're not in an environment where you're sending a lot of emails.
Yeah. True.
The truth is I don't check my email that often.
You mean you don't check the email you're receiving, but you check your email that you send a billion times before you send it?
Yes, I just mean my inbox. There's so many fucking platforms that people use.
I don't like that. I really don't. I hate our Slack channel. I fucking hate it.
Well, internally, anyone who writes me at work internally via email, I think, why the fuck are you doing this? Because we do have Slack also. It's like, just use Slack and send me a message because I will be sure to see that. You have to also use Slack properly. The way the radio show uses Slack.
Yeah, they don't use it right. Well,
because it's hard.
Our people don't use it right.
It's not a good aggregator. Like the way everyone for the radio show puts the news stories in there, and then you have to go digging through to find those news stories.
I can't do it. And even the search feature isn't great because I'll search for stuff that's there and it won't show up.
It's really just a real-time communication platform.
Right. I don't understand. I feel like I don't know who set it up. It's probably Eric and Stefan when they started to like collab. When they started collaborating together.
If you all were communicating during the show in it, that would make sense. But that ends up happening on the group text.
But see, what's the difference between the group text and the Slack? Why did we what are we getting from Slack that we're not getting from texts or the email that was sent out?
Nothing. It just replaced the email, which was much easier to navigate when you were looking for different news stories that were going to be presented on the show. But so many fucking communication platforms these days, and email. I should check my work email more because people, from outside the organization do write. My personal email, my God, somebody sent me an email in early March because I said I would run a camera for. There was a comedian I was doing work with last year and the year before, and she's got a taping at a theater, a pretty big theater, and they're going to have like 7 cameras. And they were asking if I would run one of them, and I said sure. And I got a text the other day that said, "You haven't responded to that email." And I went, and it was sent like over a month ago. Oh, it's like, oh, oops, sorry, I don't check.
That's your personal email that you're not checking?
Yeah, my personal email I don't check. I do every once in a while, but at some point it gets just the number alone is intimidating.
Oh, I've constantly clean mine out.
I've got 2,932 unread messages in my personal email.
Like your Gmail?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's just so much fucking spam that comes through now. And I've got it so some of it goes to a different inbox. There's a promotions inbox and a social inbox, but so much of it still comes through. Just the normal one that, you can't just glance and see if somebody wrote you. So you have to dig through the day. And I think that's what turns me off. Yeah,
there is a lot of bullshit that comes through the inbox, but I just keep up with it. And so I have 32 total emails.
How many emails are you getting? Are you corresponding with a lot of people? Do teachers email?
No, I do get a couple times a week emails from teachers about like what's coming up the next week or
your child is acting a fool.
No, they're not so bad. Thank goodness. What else? I got emails. I got some. I'm submitting a claim for baby. He had some diarrhea, and I have pet insurance, so I'm submitting that. We're going back and forth. I have some doctor's appointments that I get emails for, but a lot of it is bullshit, like USPS informed delivery, which is always nothing. Who cares? I should get rid of that now. The SoFi Daily, I don't know what that is. Coinbase, because I have a crypto account. Like, I don't need these things.
Oh yeah, how's your crypto doing? What do you have?
I have $136.
What did you invest in?
I got a free $25 for signing up and giving somebody else's name, like referencing somebody else.
I know. Did you put it into Bitcoin?
Oh, it moved around. It was in Doge for a minute, and then I just handed it to my friend and just said, "Here, you do it." And they did it. And I don't know what it's in. It's in something.
Ethereum.
Probably something. It's just sitting there. I mean, I really feel like whatever it is, it's just going to sit there. And then maybe one day crypto coin will be something, and like something more than it is now.
Wait, so you have $136 or whatever you said. Mm-hmm. Grown from the initial 25?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. But that was like maybe 3 years ago. So it's not a great.
I have a friend who lost his login information to his crypto wallet.
Oh, and they're really, it's tough. It's secure, right?
No, he says he'll never find it again. And he actually did have a decent amount of money in there, like thousands of dollars.
Why can't he ever find it again?
I think, I don't know enough about the process to speak about it. I've never touched crypto.
It seems like you're giving up if you're just saying, whatever, I can't find it. Okay.
I play it safe, trading options on the open market.
Nice and safe. You're right. Good option.
Hey, AMC's been coming up a lot on this show, but let me tell you, my negative 5,400 and something in unrealized losses. I'm going to slowly chip away at that. I bought an AMC call the other day, and I sold it today for a profit of $8.75.
Wow. Okay.
So slowly but surely,
you'll fill that bucket.
That loss. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make all that money back slowly but surely this year. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to sell the AMC stock so it becomes a realized loss and I can offset the taxes I have to pay on all my gains.
Oh, cool.
Which is still a loss in the end, because if you think about, I made my money back and now I'm paying tax on the money. It's like stupid.
Whatever. I don't fucking know.
It's dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know why suddenly I want to make money. I never cared.
Money is nice.
I never cared about it for a long, long time. I didn't I wanted to make enough to survive. I didn't think about the future. Maybe some of it is getting older. It's like, holy shit. One day I will have to be able to survive on no income.
Wait, why will you have to survive? Oh, because of retiring?
I mean, you'll have Social Security, maybe, possibly, right. Probably not. And whatever the hell your 401k gave you. And if you did it right and you set it up, you can just live on the interest and gains alone. Yeah, good luck. Not when you start saving at 35.
Yep.
And you go online, you go on Reddit, and you see these. I'm 19 and I'm so far behind. I only have $87,000 saved. I'm really feeling anxious about my future. Are those people really anxious, or are they bragging? They got to be bragging, right?
Yeah, it could. I bet you there are people in there that are just bragging, but there's got to be some people who are like actually a little obsessive and worried.
I feel like it's a backhanded way of saying, yeah, they want people to tell them.
Well, there's that. That's what I'm saying. It's both. It's probably both. How
great they are.
Yeah.
It's like if you go into the micro penis subreddit where guys who,
that's a thing.
Oh yeah. It's certainly a thing. I know the next question is, how do you know?
Yeah.
Come on. We've all been curious. We've all wanted to know what micro is. So, I've done
how micro is micro. What does that mean? What's it look like?
I've done an image search, and then you come across the subreddit and
image search.
That would be a very difficult thing to live with.
Absolutely.
And having a community of people who can commiserate, I think that's helpful. And it's weird maybe that they share pictures. I don't know why they're.
Oh,
yeah, I guess there is value to that. I can see the value. You're embarrassed to show it. So maybe from the safety of, your screen name behind that on Reddit, you can send a picture and it's kind of putting it out there. But you always have a dude who comes in who post a picture and it's like, yeah, my penis is really small too, and it's like giant. It's like, fuck you, dude.
Wait, is it actually giant, or is it just giant because you've been looking at micro penises all day?
Sometimes they're just normal, and other times it's dudes who have giant ones because dudes with giant ones really like to show them off.
I bet they don't really have them. They just have a picture of one.
They like to whip it around and show that it hold aluminum foil rolls next to it and things like that.
Ew.
It's kind of pathetic that your whole identity becomes that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure it's not everyone who has a giant. But
no, I think most people that have a giant one, I'm telling you, the people that are posting that, they just have that picture. It's not theirs.
Possibly. But
I would believe the micro penis people's pictures of themselves more than the big wiener ones.
But those pictures are of someone somewhere, and I know a lot of those people get into porn. So there
are plenty of dudes with big old hogs.
That's what I'm saying.
Aren't doing anything with them.
No, that's what I've been saying. There's plenty that it exists to the extent that I think there are a lot of people who really get caught up in the idea of it. Like, yeah, look at this.
I see.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. And they come into the poor micro ween subreddit.
Yeah.
And destroy those people's confidence even more. They slowly were building it back up. I shouldn't be laughing. Like, I'm not laughing at the actual situation because, again, I couldn't imagine being in that spot. Like, that is, I don't know. I really don't know what you do if it's micro.
Well, you've grown up with it your whole life, and you gotta figure it out. You know, you just deal with it. It's like people, like, I don't know how people, you know, don't have legs or something.
But it's not really functional, I wouldn't think.
It is.
You can do other things, surely. But I don't know, you say it is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah. But there does need to be a lot of other stuff going on. You got to do more. The penis is no longer, you know, the number one tool in your toolbox, like it is for other dudes. For
Which
some
is
dudes,
fine.
It's their only tool.
Yeah, well,
because they're tools.
When you have that jackhammer.
Yeah, that's all you need. Just kidding. Women need more than that. Stupid.
Yeah, sometimes you need that wet saw, that thing that cuts very accurate lines, and they don't give a shit. Like, I'm bringing out the jackhammer. I don't fucking care.
Blah, 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 blah.
Does that feel good?
Yeah. Did you come?
I don't even really care if you did.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it. I do. I believe, not everyone, but I believe that there's some people who enjoy the idea of it hurting. Like, yeah.
Oh, like mine is so big.
Yeah, and I went so hard.
Yeah, I'm so big. Mommy said I was big.
That you can't even walk properly. Isn't that cool? Look at the way she's walking. I did that.
I ruined her viscera.
Fucking idiots.
I scrambled her guts.
People are so dumb and pathetic.
That bitch got scrambled. She'll never have children.
If she does. And she can't because the cervix is no more.
Mm-hmm. I pounded it flat like a chicken cutlet.
That's enough. Like schnitzel.
Yeah, like a schnitzel. And I fried it in my baby batter.
Okay, stop. I'm done.
You you said you're done, and then you're like, schnitzel. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
And I am Greg Russ. Getting off of the topic before the the theme. I know I introduced it, but in true form. You're done with it now. In true form, you had to push it to some extreme.
Well, I just kept going. I didn't push it. I just continued. I just mined it.
How do you search? Going back to the email conversation, I'm looking at my inbox. There's a total of 9,757 emails in it.
Okay.
How do you sort by? I feel like an old man. How do you sort by oldest first?
Oh,
date within has attachment. Oh boy, what an old fucking piece of shit I've turned out to be.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. It seems like, oh, I got it, but I get settings.
Open Gmail in the messages window. Point to the numbers above your inbox to see the oldest message. Oh, so you go to the numbers. There you go. That's not really intuitive. You would think.
Oh, it's really not. It's really not. I see that now too. It doesn't seem like a button.
9506. That was my first email to my Gmail account, which...
Whoa, you still have your original email.
Well, I had the Hotmail account for years.
But I'm saying like your first Gmail, like you have it still.
I've only ever had one Gmail, and I really should have registered as gregruss@gmail.com because I guess I would guarantee that it was available. But for whatever reason, I didn't, and I made it my full name, including my middle. But I don't.
Everybody knows your Gmail account now.
People have to know my middle name first.
I bet you it's not hard to find.
Well, they'd still have to figure it out.
Okay.
The first email, Gmail is different. Here's what you need to know.
That's what I mean. Like you have your original Gmail mail.
I like keeping things.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's a bunch of pictures that I sent to myself from my old phone number.
Smart. Good.
T-Mobile mail. Let's see what some of these pictures are. Well, that's great. You click on it and nothing opens up. There's nothing really there either. Or there. Or there.
What?
Or there. There's just
what is happening? You got nothing? Your email is nothing?
It says, this message was sent from a T-Mobile wireless phone. And then you open it and there's nothing there. That's a shame. I was thinking that I had maybe sent myself some pictures. Here you go. Here's some pictures.
Take some pictures.
They're pictures from the trip I took to New York in 2006 over Thanksgiving. Man, old camera, like on flip phones. They really were so shitty.
Wow, you took pictures in New York of...
We went on the unofficial Ghostbusters tour. So it's pictures of the Ghostbusters firehouse. A picture of the church that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man crushed. A picture of Dana's apartment building, which is next to the church that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man crushed. So on some level, I thought that these were very important pictures.
Well, it is, but it's just funny that you used your phone to take those pictures. Not even like a digital camera.
I didn't want to carry around a digital camera. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, you're like, I have this new phone that has a camera on it, so it's good enough.
And then you've got my Facebook confirmation email. Jake, you recently registered for Facebook using this email address. I never made it but man, 2006 is when I created that fucking thing. And then I registered for eBay, and then I bought something from the Nintendo repair shop. I bought an AC adapter, a power adapter for a Nintendo NES.
Did you have an NES?
Yeah, I have an NES. Oh, and I bought Bubble Bobble, the NES video game.
Yes, Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, I have an NES. It's sitting in a closet, but it doesn't work so well because I guess over time the connector pins bend so that it's harder for them to actually connect with the cartridge itself.
But do you do all the tricks, like putting another Nintendo game on top of it?
Yeah, the blowing, the putting the cartridge in. Jesus fucking Christ.
But cartridges.
Well, you put the cartridge. You put the cartridge in the Nintendo, and then you move it left and right. Once it's secure, you press down.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get it started these days. I usually get a pink screen. And then when you're getting close, you get a scrambled screen where some of the graphics are starting to show up.
Oh, yeah. Like it stops working.
And I tried reopening it. I say reopening it because I had opened it before. But I tried opening the console itself, thinking, well, the last time I tried to do this, I was surely an idiot. I'm so much smarter now that some time has gone by.
Yeah,
that I can figure it out. But it's like, no, you don't. You don't really get access to where the pins are. So I have this thing, and it doesn't work. And I know that you don't even really need it because you can get that emulator that you have that has 16,000 games on it.
Well, my emulator stopped working because it was a Cherry Pie, and I don't know, it just stopped working. But I have a Retron HD or something that you can put the games in. Like, so if you still have the games, if you still have the cartridges, then you put them in. So I've been playing that actually for a while. I landed on the aircraft carrier in Top Gun.
Have you done
and it was the first. I've done it multiple times now. Like I don't have it down, but I know how to do it. And I've never been prouder. I've done it 3 times, I think.
That's a real feat.
It really is. I was so excited.
It's up there with the Ninja Turtles video game, swimming through the electrified seaweed.
Impossible, that game. That whole game is impossible.
And finding the rope. I don't think I ever found the rope. At some point, you need to find rope. And I think
my friend Patrick Johannimeier that I played with all the time, we played Nintendo all the time together. I think he was really good. I bet you he found the rope.
Without cheating? Without like the game genie?
No, without cheating. He didn't have a game genie.
All right.
I wanted a game genie.
I'm skeptical. Bad. I react that way with a bit of silence and all right, because I'm skeptical. I don't think anyone's that. I watched a guy try to get through the seaweed level without getting shocked once, and it took him so many times. He finally did it, but it was almost an impossible task. And this was a master player. So if your friend Frank Risenhouse,
Patrick Johannimeier,
yeah. Frank isn't a master player. So, but look, if you are landing on the aircraft carrier in Top Gun, then maybe.
Woo! I was so excited. I can't tell you how excited I was.
Other people can accomplish difficult tasks. Mm-hmm. So what's after that? I think the game after that is probably a mystery to most people.
No, you just. Oh, okay. So I don't think I've made it. Okay. So mission number 1 is training. So you don't really die ever, right? Like you can't die. And then, based on how well you do during training, like what you like how many people you shoot, or how many airplanes you shoot, and like bombs and missiles and things that you use, you can get you'll either start the next mission 2, where you have to shoot aircraft carriers. You'll either have 0 players left, or like 1 or 2. I don't know. I've never seen more than that. So then in mission 2, you fuck around and you do whatever. But I don't think I've never made it past mission 2. Like if I'm in mission 2, I'll either get shot by one of those missiles, or I'll at least die trying to get back on that aircraft carrier and like landing it. Like I won't land it. And then you just die. It's like it's such a hard game because like it doesn't let you start where you left off. You just start from the very beginning every time, and dying is so easy.
Yeah, I remember renting that game and never wanting to play it again after we returned it to the Blockbuster.
I love that idea, returning it to Blockbuster.
It was nice to rent games. That was a great idea. Mm-hmm. And with Nintendo games, you could, if they were a little more difficult, you may need to rent it a few times to beat it. Mm-hmm. But in a 3-day rental, you can beat a Nintendo game several times.
Well, some games aren't really about beating them; it's just playing, like puzzly ones, you know.
Cobra Triangle, I always liked.
Oh, I don't know that one.
You were a boat. You were just.
Oh, did we play that?
You were a speedboat, and then at the end of the levels,
and there's like people trying to shoot you.
Yeah, and at the end of the level, when you fly to a different level, like a little helicopter.
That was fun.
Some blades come out of the top of your speedboat, and you fly away.
I remember.
And there's some levels where you have to save the drowning people. Really, you protect them. They're in the water splashing around, and other boats come in and try to steal them. And I think you have to protect them.
What is this game called again?
Cobra Triangle.
Cobra Triangle. Why is it called that?
I don't know. A play on the Bermuda Triangle, probably. I bet it's some weird stretched logic, probably.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, here you go. Here's the screenshot. The people drowning. Help. Other boats come in and try to steal them away, I think is what happens. I liked that game, and there were some helicopter strike games that I cannot remember the name of. Helicopter. war game, NES. There were several of them. Urban Strike, yeah, Desert Strike, Jungle Strike. Man, those were fun. Are those on your emulator? The one that, I guess, burned and died?
I mean, I think they all were, because it had like every NES game, every Super Nintendo, every like Sega game, Atari, like those, but those I couldn't really play because I didn't have the right joystick, didn't have the right controller. But now I'm just using the cartridges of Nintendo games that I have. So I've played a lot of Top Gun, Paperboy, Punch Out, Marble Madness, Tetris,
Snake Rattle and Roll,
Dr. Mario.
Oh yeah,
but I only have one
aren't you some
controller.
savant?
I should do that now. I should just go buy. I should get a controller.
Aren't you some Dr. Mario savant?
Yes, I am.
Nobody beats you at Dr. M.
You can't. Come at me. Let's go.
I hated that game.
I love it.
I never was big into the puzzle games, and especially the ones that hijacked popular characters like Mario. So you think, oh, I love Mario. I love the Mario games. And then you get it and you're like, what the fuck? This has nothing to do with Mario.
True. Like the Yoshi game.
Yeah, or the Sonic.
Kind of like but I liked it. It's fun.
Or the Sonic Spinball, which was just a pinball game.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I'm like, why? What? This isn't a Sonic game. You preyed on my love of this character that you created. You manipulated me.
Well, Dr. Mario on its own, but Mario's in a lot of things. Mario is the referee in Punch Out.
Yeah, that's fine though, but it's not called Mario's Punch Out.
Yeah, that's true.
If that were the name, then I would be very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we don't get stuck on Nintendo because we've talked about this. The next email, so outside of the Facebook registration, eBay registration, and the Nintendo repair shop orders, J. Patrick Best. I wrote J. Patrick Best an email. I don't want to read this. Remember J. Patrick Best? You remember him?
Yes, I do. It took me a second to place him.
He ran the Sunday paper in Atlanta.
But he was a part of Creative Loafing before that.
Yeah. And then, he was on the podcast quite a bit when it was in the basement, in Eric's basement.
Yeah, what happened to him? Do he and Eric talk anymore?
I don't know. I don't think anything necessarily happened. But this is where my job hunt starts. So we're looking at 9/11/2007.
Never forget.
I was taken off the air at 99X for, quote, being too creative. Again, that's the true story. People think, oh, yeah, right. You're just protecting your ego, being too creative. I don't buy that for a second. Those were the words. It's like, you're just trying to be too creative. We just want someone to go in and introduce the music. So I was planning my move to New York. I probably reached out to J. Patrick Best because I had done some writing for the Sunday paper. I hate reading emails I sent in the past. Subject question for you. I don't know if you've heard. Ugh. I just like he would hear. This is why I hate reading this email. I don't know if you've heard, but I was permanently removed from my air shift at 99X. What a dumb way. Yeah, I'm so important.
No, it's fine. What's wrong with this?
I don't know, because I don't know if you've heard. You could just say, hey, got some bad news today. I was removed from my air shift at 99X. I'm looking for some additional work. I don't know if you've heard.
How old are you? How old are we in 2007?
I was 25.
It's young.
Reason, and look, I'm still double spacing after periods at this point too.
Oh, I was team double space for so long. I don't understand why that changed.
Because it wasn't needed in digital. On typewriters, you needed it because a single space just didn't give enough room.
Oh.
But once we started typing digitally, it wasn't needed. But I stuck with it for a while. I don't think I gave it up until like 2010 or 11.
We were trained on it. It's hard to stop a train.
I hate this. I don't know if you've heard, but I was permanently removed from my air shift at 99X. Reasons given were that I was being too creative. No lie. Same story.
Poorly.
Same story. Who cares if it's worded poorly?
Well, you care.
I mean, I do, but you don't need to rub it in.
All
also,
right.
I don't think it's worded poorly. It wasn't a separate sentence. It's a little more conversational. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I can't read it. I really am squinting and not looking at the rest. It's just painful. The purpose for my writing you, however, isn't to bitch about the change, though I could go on for hours. What the fuck? I'm done reading this. I can't read this. I cannot read this fucking email.
Get to the point.
It really was.
It's funny.
Oh, so I'm looking not for a job at the Sunday paper, but I'm wanting to move to New York. And the New York Press at the time was pretty much the Sunday paper of New York, where you had the Village Voice as the creative loafing. So that was the dominant alt weekly paper.
Okay.
This is also kind of funny because newspapers were still viable in my mind. It's like, yeah, that's a good career path. Yeah. I'll go work for a paper.
Well, you were just trying to figure you have a connection with this person, right? And you've worked with them before. So you think, this is a little bit of an in. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So I just asked if he knows anyone at the New York Press. Right. I'm not reading it. I'm skimming over it. He says something that we're not allowed to say anymore about me being removed from the air.
Oh.
That's
R-worded.
Yeah. Yeah. But we are talking about 99X. As much as I love and respect a few people over there, it's become extremely clear to me in recent years that a monkey could have been successful running an alternative station in the 90s. It's a nice response.
That's what he said?
Yeah, it's a nice response from him. Uh-huh. You actually have to be innovative when none of your artists are selling more than 3 million CDs and no one seems to be stepping up to the plate. My 2 cents. I don't want to read the rest where he tells me he doesn't know anyone because it still feels that same feeling.
Like the
rejection. All right. Yeah. Then I just reach out apparently to somebody at the New York Press. This is the next email following up. I was recently in contact with Tom Allen about any employment opportunities currently open at the New York Press. I don't know who Tom Allen is, but I would dig around and find people. He directed me to you. He also said he'd forward the email along with Mr. Allen. It's always strange now being in a position where I hire people.
Right.
And they write me.
You get a different idea of how this looks to the person you're sending it to now.
Well, when they say Mr. Russ, I understand why they do that, but it feels weird to me. Like I would prefer you just to write Greg. It's like, hi, Greg, saw the listing. But I get it. Right. I understand. Some people may not like that.
And they don't know how old you are. Like maybe they felt like you need like an honorific Mr.
Along with Mr. Allen, I exchanged a few emails with Jerry Portwood a few months ago. I remembered him when he wrote for Creative Loafing.
Portwood.
Okay, so whatever. So he wrote me the next day. He wrote back, "We don't have any full-time positions. If you have any interest freelancing, please feel free to pitch an idea." And I can't read what I wrote next.
What? Why? You have to.
I guess I never pitched an idea because I didn't write back until October 16th. So a month later, asking if he could write me. I never pitched any freelance ideas, and I didn't respond saying that I wasn't interested in that because I guess I wanted a staff position because I wanted some security. Sure. Of course. I ended up coming to New York with no job and figuring it out anyway, but
totally fine.
I thought I was going to pitch one of my dumb ideas, like writing an article about why Jupiter is scary. I know
you didn't do that.
No, I didn't. But I to other people I know, I sent those weird Mad Pundit articles out.
Yeah, those were funny. I don't know about how someone would use them, but I thought they were funny. But I find you funny, so I don't know.
Yeah, the football players of yesteryear are the garbage men of today. Mm-hmm. That was one of the articles. What was, I forget the other one. Something about the Atkins diet being bullshit, which was totally a trolling article. I just wanted to stir people up. I was trolling before it was cool. I was also making clickbait headlines before it was cool. I was BuzzFeed before BuzzFeed.
I made BuzzFeed who it is today.
So that's enough of that pathetic email to David Blum. Then I wrote Danny Bush. Oh my God. This guy was
Danny Bush.
He was a record rep, and he was like an old school type record rep that I knew through 99X. He was like the kind of guy who is seemingly, well, because I gave his last name, I don't want to get into too many details about specifics, but you know, those kind of dudes that worked at labels and in radio.
Yeah.
It was like the good old boy type club.
Okay.
He was one of those guys, and I wrote him and said, here was the subject: Greg, fake radio name Decker. Clearly you would have no idea. I didn't say this part, but clearly he would have no idea who I was as Greg, maybe Decker. Yeah. Here I am looking for jobs at MTV. That was my Slack. Let me shut this thing up.
Fucking Slack.
I was looking for jobs at MTV. Something was posted, and I asked if he would happen to know anyone who worked at MTV. And then his response was, they cut 2 of my friends, so no. That was it.
What? Wow.
Oh boy. And then we get into Monster. I guess I started going to the Monster search board, and then we get results for jobs. So you don't keep any of this stuff though, do you? You delete all your emails?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have some like folders that I've kept, I guess, some things in, but like I have all my separation divorce emails. I have some, Von Hessler Doctrine stuff. I've got an empty Vanguard account, empty Vanguard thing, summer camp. I don't know. One topic I have. Yeah. I don't really keep anything.
It's like a time capsule. It's like archives.
Yeah, I guess.
Being able to go back and look at these things. But it leads to a show that's very one-sided because only I can talk about these things. You have nothing you can go pull up.
Really
exploring the archives of email, which really was.
Yeah, because I don't know.
It really was the way to communicate before texting. I was a big T9 texter, but a lot of people didn't like it.
I didn't really like emailing. I don't think emailing was ever my form. It would always just be a call or texting, or I'd wait until like after 9 p.m. so I could text for free on my T-Mobile phone.
It had its day. And I clearly used to be very organized with it. I would keep up with it.
Why don't you just like start with your oldest and then go like 5 pages in and then just delete everything after that?
No, who knows what's in the middle? There could be a lot of good stuff in the middle. I told you I went through the Hotmail account.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was using the Hotmail account, it's got documentation of 3 of my relationships.
Right.
There was a lot of correspondence with people up front and hey, we're just getting to know each other and let's send each other funny things, to I hate you and you make me want to throw up emails at the end.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes is right. But there's like a full documentation of that time of my life. Not that I necessarily want to revisit it. As you can tell, I don't even want to read these fucking emails.
Yeah.
I switched to the Gmail because Hotmail. So it's clear what happened. The 99X thing happened. And I thought, I got to start looking for work, and Hotmail is a joke. I can't write people.
Yeah. Hotmail is has less like clout or prestige or something.
Yeah, Gmail. You're on the cutting edge. You're cutting edge.
It's like having a Comcast.net email address.
which my friend Howard, who he is 72, his is some Spectrum email through his cable provider.
Yikes. That's funny.
I wrote the Onion freelance writing position.
Oh, you would have been good on the Onion.
I thought I would be good at the Onion too, and I sent over my resume with being on the air and writing for the Sunday paper. My opinion pieces for the Sunday paper were weird too.
But that's cool for the Onion. Maybe they didn't dig it. Or they just didn't have anything available or something, or what?
I'm sure that was a position where they got so many applicants.
Yeah, but so many people probably send their or have many applicants, not a lot of actual writing credits, and then maybe they would even they could send something over, but it sucked.
I did put together a whole package for them, like a packet of examples. Are some of these attached? No, this was just a submission release. I had to send a release that anything I sent, if anything popped up that looked similar to what I submitted, I couldn't sue them.
Oh, that's messed up.
It makes sense. I don't think that they were flat out stealing. Like, there are plenty of instances where...
Oh, but just to say, like, if somebody got all weird about it.
Well, if somebody said, that was my idea and here's proof, I submitted this.
Right.
And if it was something that was close, because those things do happen. It's not like they're
and people are paranoid too. Like, that was my...
Yeah, there's not an infinite number of original ideas. And especially if you're trying to be timely, whatever the news cycle is, and play off of that. A lot of the same
it's like
ideas.
Everybody has the same joke about the jumbo shrimp sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to sue for that. That jumbo shrimp. That was my joke.
I was the first one.
I'm so proud of your jumbo shrimp. And then apparently I applied for Northrop Grumman website designer. What the fuck is this? I don't know how to design websites. And this was also in Georgia. I was getting desperate.
Like content or something? Like making their content?
I think.
What in the world would you do there?
I don't know. It's like they make fighter jets and mail trucks.
Yeah.
What a strange company.
What would you do for them?
Cal Rifkin, internet radio station seeks experienced person for new position. Greg, your resume was forwarded to me for consideration for an interview. I know it might be a bit short notice, but I would like to interview tomorrow at 3 p.m. if that works for you. Cheers.
Did it?
Cal.
Who's Cal?
Who is this? This is apparently the dude who ran this internet radio station seeking experienced person for new position. No fucking details.
Oh, that sounds shady.
We had an interview. Then afterwards, I said, thanks for talking to me. Here are 2 air checks and 3 writing samples. So there you go. I sent him some air checks, which I don't want to listen to.
Oh, I would love... Are they available? Do you have them?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll play. It's through my computer speakers. You can't hear that, can you?
Oh, hey, turn it up.
Can I run it? How do you route this through?
You can just put your mic near the thing.
All right, you're right.
Oh, I can't wait.
Alternative 99X. White stripes. Not to be confused with fruit stripe chewing gum. Ooh. Sicky thump.
What a dumb break.
What'd you say? Sicky Felp?
And the song's called Icky Thump.
Oh.
So I was just introducing the song.
Not to be confused with fruit stripe gum.
This is what got me fired, being too creative.
Too creative. Stick to the songs.
Pretty piano. I like the sound of you. Everything Alternative 99X. Lincoln Park. Bleed it out.
Man, I was being lazy
Pretty
this
piano.
day. I was being fucking lazy.
That's your air check? That's what you sent?
No, there's minutes of it. I don't want to listen. I sent 2 air checks.
Okay.
They were probably just air checks from one show.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
And it gets in your head because when you're told, people don't want to hear you talking. They just want to hear. So I don't.
Yeah, you try and keep a little bit of your voice, but.
Yeah, I probably modified what I sent. I don't. I don't know. I never heard back from that guy, so apparently I didn't impress him. Then there was some other
the fruit stripe. He liked the white stripes too much to besmirch their name.
No, and then we don't need to go through all of these, but man, there are so many, just so much outreach.
That's good. You're trying.
But here's the one that got me the job at RXP. I wrote Blake Lawrence, the PD at the time, and how did this didn't go well. I dropped off a CD with an air check and my resume in person to the station, and then I wrote him and said, "Hey, I just dropped this off today if you don't mind listening." And he said, "The CD you gave me won't play."
Oh. Oh my God, the drama of burning your own CDs and not formatting it correctly in some weird way. Oh my God.
Yeah, that it's and when you're applying for a job like that probably instilled panic. I'm like, oh shit. But Blake was cool. I liked Blake. He was let go because he was the smooth jazz PD. That was the station before RXP. But he didn't know who I was, and he ended up hiring me because I got him another CD. And then
nice.
His response to that was, "I like your slightly twisted take on just about everything you talk about. I would only caution you to not sound too mellow or drag out your thoughts too long. Just about 5% more energy needed here." That's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. I'll catch up with you after this coming weekend show. So
I love him.
This was after I guess I got hired.
Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
No, I liked him, and then he got let go. Yeah. And the guy who took over until Leslie came in, because Leslie Fram ended up being hired. That guy didn't give a shit. He hated me on the air. He hated everything I did. I would ask him though, what do you think of this? How's this sound? He's like, well, I think you're being yourself. Okay, thanks.
What?
Thanks, dude.
How was that feedback?
It's not. He didn't want to tell me because he wasn't the program director. He was just filling in for the time being. He was the music director, and he wanted nothing to do with it. Though they needed somebody to steer the ship because it was
Why wouldn't he want to be PD?
He was just that kind of guy. He hated being in New York too. He came from the West Coast, and he complained about being in New York. And I used to get so angry.
Lose.
Yeah, how many people want to come to New York to be on the radio, and you have the opportunity to host an afternoon shift, and you fucking hate it?
Yeah.
So I didn't really get along with that guy too much. But
that makes sense.
But Blake, this PD, he either wanted to give me or my friend Dave the night shift. He didn't know who yet, and then he got fired, and neither of us got it. So it goes. But that was nice. Now I'm thinking about my energy level. That's probably still a note that I should take.
I feel like you still get down below that energy level, but I think there's more. You put forth more energy, and especially back then, you're probably, like you said, you were getting notes that you were too much, so maybe you were trying to like hold back a little bit, and now you're not really holding back as much.
So it's a nice trip down memory lane.
It was
for me.
I don't have any way to share. I wish I did now. I wish I had a time capsule.
See, you wish you were sentimental.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am sentimental.
In what way? How does it play out?
Well, I mean, I keep certain things from my kids. Maybe I'm not sentimental. Well, there's certain you know what? You're sentimental about many things, and I'm sentimental about a small number of things.
Your kids?
No, I have like I have this really terrible looking apple that has like little cartoony worms coming out of it, that is a piggy bank that my mom has had forever. And she when she worked as a movie theater like person behind the counter, she would always collect the silver dimes and like the silver coins that would come in, because silver coins were more in the not rotation but circulation in the world. So she was like always switching them out anytime she found a silver coin, and she would put them in this piggy bank, and it looks like 70s. It's really weird looking. And my dad, once he started getting into eBay, was talking about selling those coins, and And maybe I don't know if he could sell this Apple thing, but I refused. I was like, no, those are mine. Mom promised me those a long time ago. And he was like, okay. So I took it back, and now it sits on my desk. I'll never get rid of it.
Okay, well, they're yours. Fine.
And I have a cool old bank, another money thing, like a little bank thing that adds up your coins for you. It has like a little drawer in the bottom, and it only opens at $10. And it was my grandma's from, I don't know, maybe the 60s. It makes a nice little chling when you put coins in it.
All right, so there's a couple things.
Yeah. My whoobies.
I don't know what that is.
You know, like I have a Snuffles, and I have Mike, my monkey that I love.
I have stuffed animals.
Yeah. Important stuff like that.
I'm trying to think of the difference. Like, what makes something worth keeping to you? Mm-hmm. What does it represent? What does it represent for me? Like, I like being able to look back at these periods of my life. Like, even as much as I don't want to read these emails, I'm somewhat impressed at the fact I was just putting myself out there and like contacting all these people and sending.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That's cool.
Sending as much as I could to show what I had to give. Writing radio stuff, writing original things for the sake of the job, trying to prove that I could do it. Creating a website for Northrop Grumman. I've got a design for the new mail truck.
You must have been a little desperate.
That one doesn't even make sense because it was in Atlanta, and I was clearly wanting to move to New York.
Yeah.
That was my relationship with Brittany, which started by writing her on MySpace.
Oh, right.
Because there was a dude who did the night shift in San Diego at 91X, which was their big alternative station. And when MySpace was big, he wrote to me and said, "Hey, really like what you're doing." And instead of thinking, "Wow, cool," I thought, what a fucking weirdo. Who the hell listens to people across the country? Because I was never like a radio nerd like that.
Right.
There are some people on the air who want to listen to other stations and hear what they're doing musically and hear what the people on the air are doing. And I can appreciate that now. And that's a nice thing that up here in the industry reached out and said something nice to me.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, okay, loser. But I went and looked at his MySpace page, and one of his top friends was Brittany. And it really was. I thought she was pretty. And when I saw that she worked in radio also, I ended up using the same kind of I didn't say I've been listening to you, but you know, the fact that we worked in the same industry.
Interesting. So you like mocked him in your mind. Did you respond to him?
I probably did. And I probably was nice. MySpace,
yeah, I'm sure you're nice, but like
MySpace got rid of all their records, which is a shame.
It's just interesting that you're like, what a loser. And then you're like, hey, Brittany, love what you're doing.
I didn't say love what you're doing. I forget what I said, but I used the fact we both worked in radio. So I'm sure I said something about radio. Because there's a camaraderie.
Sure.
You work in the industry.
Well, and it's not just a listener messaging you saying something like that. It's a colleague.
Yeah, and let's be real. If she thought I was ugly, she wouldn't have written me back. Okay. So
let's be real.
So you look at these pictures and then you use some reason to write and you pretend it has nothing to do with you thinking the person was pretty in their picture. And, that sparked conversation, which probably started in October of 2006. And then I went to visit Seattle in January of 2007. And then by the end of 2007, I lived in New York. The amount of time from that, let's just say that October of 2006 to the end of 2007, that fucking seemed like forever. And so much shit happened because Brittany ended up moving from Seattle and getting the job at Q100, coming to Atlanta, lived in Zoffieville. I guess she still lived there when I moved. I don't think she moved out by that point, but
I think she might have still been there.
I had the plan to move to New York. I told her from the start, yeah, I like you, but I also want to move to New York. So if you're moving to Atlanta, just know I am planning on moving. I don't know when it's going to happen. And the truth is I had the job at 99X and that was hard to give up. So if I hadn't been taken off the air, it probably wouldn't have happened as soon as it did. But when I had the opportunity, I said, well, this is it. It's time to go. And a lot of that shit is documented. So you see the course of a relationship over a year, from the beginning to the end, sending an email with the sublet that I found to her and saying, I just agreed to take this. Looks like I really am moving. Like it's, there's a lot documented.
That's not a conversation you have in person.
Well, it was because I was in New York. Yes, you talk about it more. Like it wasn't like I just sent it out of the blue. She knew I was coming to look at the sublet, and my response was written. And then of course you talk about it, and then everyone tries to act strong, and
she gets that. Yeah, she does some other things that are, to me, seem a little like a woman who's gonna cut her own bangs when she's freaking out.
I don't know. I can't speak to that. Like she never gave me shit about moving. She didn't make me feel bad. It was just kind of a sad thing. It was again, a lot of shit was jam packed into 1 year, and more than that, because moving after that, there was a lot more that went into it. The perception of time though is crazy, because the years do fly by now, and to think that all this shit, I think of everything that happened in 1 year, like that was only over the course of a year. Fucking insane.
It is crazy. I mean, I know that you mark time a lot more than I do. But yeah, I do remember those years feeling much longer than now. And also, like, COVID happened, and we all seem to have like a collective trauma of like perception of time now.
COVID certainly changed perception of time. I can't speak to how or why, but maybe some of it is you were already working from home. Yeah. But I was already working from home. I had a job that allowed me to work remotely, and so I wasn't going to the office that much either. Because I was going to say maybe the shift from people working remotely and kind of not moving around as much and being in the same place had an effect, but I was already living like that. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. Well, it was hard because people were, the way we spent our time changed. So it would make sense for people to start marking the time differently, because we all had to start marking time differently.
Maybe that's a side effect of COVID. It eats a part of your brain that is responsible for the perception of time, and we don't know that yet.
Maybe so. Maybe it was an alien virus to help us so that they could control our perception of time, so that they could work undetected.
The only way to offset it is by smoking pot. So it's the opposite. So COVID makes your perception of time faster.
Okay.
Whereas when you smoke pot and you put something in the microwave for a minute, you think, my God, it's got to fucking be done. That burrito needs to be done. And 7 seconds has gone by.
Yeah.
Or I tried frying an egg once. Well, not frying. I wanted to scramble eggs, but I was cooking eggs stoned. And I ended up pouring them into the sink because I was convinced they weren't fucking cooking. It seemed like it took.
They were in the pan.
They were in the pan. And I thought, these are not coming together. And yes, the heat was on. It wasn't so stupid that the stove wasn't turned on. But I was looking down. What is going on? These things aren't cooking. And I threw them into the sink.
Oh, did you try again?
I don't remember. I can't remember what happened after that.
I like that you were going to eat eggs.
I like eggs.
I do too, but I feel like that would be a weird mouth feel.
Well, this is also going back to the dorms at Georgia State University. I'm sure that I didn't have a lot.
Like all you had, maybe.
Yeah, we had that full kitchen in the dorm room, but I probably didn't have a lot of food there. So, I'll look and hear the emails from Rob Cross at Sirius. That was the guy who that was the Maxim Radio when I applied for a producer position, but sent him my air check. And he said, no, you're not, you need to be on the air. You don't need to produce. And he put me on that air shift, 2 hours straight talking on Maxim Radio. And I've never done a talk show in my life, and I didn't have anyone to help me. Yeah. And the material that I prepared, I blew through in the first hour, and I had another hour to go. And I don't know what the fuck I did. Like that is just a black spot in my brain. There's zero memory of what the fuck I did. The board op refused to talk to me. He just sat there, and I was thinking, what the fuck?
Do you have a recording of that?
I do not think so.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
I'm pretty sure I don't. I'll look. I will. Okay. But I'm pretty sure I don't. So Rob Cross, story I've told many times, wrote me the next day, and I didn't open that email for 3 months. And then the email,
even though it was a nice email, right? It was like, hey, it was pretty.
The email was like, yeah, that was pretty good. You've never done this before. There's, there are things to work on, but I thought it was good. And then my response was, I don't know how I missed this.
Well, you have to lie, right? You got to lie at that point.
Never heard from him again.
Oh, Greg.
I mean, by that point, I had been hired at RXP too, so I think it wasn't as pressing. I was like, okay, well, I got a job. I don't need to open that email ever in my life.
Right. I don't need to know.
That's just
what this could be. That's just such anxiety.
Let's just forget I ever did that air shift. It sucked so bad. I remember leading up to it, I was so fucking nervous. I went to because the Sirius building is near 30 Rock. And so I got off the train like an hour and a half before I went on the air, and I was just pacing around. And then there's this weird underground mall area where if you get off the subway, there's like a corridor with restaurants and stuff for Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, so it's like there's windows facing the rink.
Yeah, but it's not outside. Like this is a corridor. You get off the subway, but the subway empties out.
I know what you're talking about.
Right into the building. And it's just like the windows of the restaurants just look out to the walkway. There are no windows to the outside world.
Oh, okay.
And I sat there and ate some equivalent to Panda Express, thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I got to do this tonight. What the fuck? I'm here in New York. My whole life has changed. This is an opportunity for me to do something. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. So when you feel like you fuck it up.
Yeah, you go in and then you're not loose enough to be able to handle anything that might come up.
I'm sure it wasn't as bad as I thought. Or
I'm sure it wasn't.
It actually probably was.
No.
And then Tim Rhodes texted me in the middle of it.
What did he say?
He said he was listening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was nice. He said something complimentary. He said,
of course.
I don't remember what, but he said he was listening. And
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I like Tim Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me $1 on Venmo about a year ago.
Why?
With a kissy smiley face.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Kissy smiley face.
It was just the
way
to
respond.
Yeah, I texted him after that.
Yeah,
it's just a nice way to say I'm thinking of you. I haven't forgotten about you.
Here's $1. It's really cute.
Yeah. So there it is. The trip down the email archives. There are many, many more embarrassments in here.
God, please try and find that air check that you thought was so terrible. I know we've talked about it before, but I don't know if I've ever asked if you have it.
I'm sure I don't.
Yeah. I would think that you would know by now if you have it. But because it was such a trauma for you that maybe you would not try to make sure you still have it, or whether you have it or not, you know?
I just did a quick search. I don't have it in my email, at least. I do have another email to Rob Cross, though, at the time, or not at the time. 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 years later, I wrote him.
Whoa.
It's been a while. This is 2 years.
While.
This is 2 years. My introduction to that song, Stained. It's been a while. Used to be.
Yeah.
It's been a while since this song was good.
Did you say it with that energy? Because you need like 5% more energy for that.
Yeah. All right, here's Stained. It's been a while since this song was good. How's that?
It's pretty low still.
Anyway, I guess I was looking for work again in 2013. Okay.
It's been a while.
I reached out to him. I don't want to read it. I'm not going to read it.
Oh my God. You have to now, and then we'll end. Do it.
Oh, God.
Do it.
This is so fucking cheesy. Okay, so
queso. You said cheesy.
Oh, God damn it. Subject, it's been a while. First line of the email. That's not a reference to the Stain song.
Yay! Yay!
Years and years.
Did it.
Years and years ago, you had me host a shift on Maxim Radio. I thought it stunk, but you seemed to think it was okay. Either way, that was that, and we went our separate ways. After time at RXP, after time at RXP, I got away from radio for a bit, but I am interested in getting back in. I saw a posting on the Sirius website stating a need for rock music hosts. I applied, but in an effort to not be lost in the sea of applicants, I'm reaching out to you.
Oh, it's great. You're wording this much better than you ever, any of those other emails.
If the position still needs to be filled, here are links to a couple of air checks.
Ooh, links.
Should there be any interest, I'd love a chance to talk to you more about the opportunity. Never heard back from him, it seems.
Maybe he didn't work there anymore or something.
I mean, it didn't bounce back.
Yeah. Just wonder.
Oh, no, it did. It did bounce back, so maybe he was gone.
Okay, yeah. I think because the fact that he didn't ever, he didn't respond anymore, I don't know. I feel like he must have been gone.
I like the idea of him responding to that email 4 months later. Saying, I
don't know how I missed this.
I somehow missed this.
Yeah.
I apologize. Half this show was me saying, no, I'm not going to read that. There is a real discomfort that comes in. I keep these things because I want to have records of it, but then I really have no interest in digging in deep because it just stirs. I don't even know if it stirs the feelings at the time, because at the time I don't think I was feeling bad about myself. I was feeling motivated and looking for work. But yes, looking back now, it's nothing but critique. Like, what an idiot. That was written stupidly. You thought that this was good material to send someone. What a fucking moron you were. Things like that.
So sad.
Come to mind.
Why do you talk to yourself like that? So fucked up. It's
true. If it weren't like that, they would have responded and said, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen or heard or read. And we need to get you in here ASAP. And we need to give you so much fucking money. You're so amazing. But when you get rejected and when you get ignored, then you got to come up with reasons. You have to justify it somehow. It's like, it's my fault. It's my fault because I suck.
I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So.
All right, so I have a Google alert that I get in my email. Eric and the gang preview a fan-provided potential new intro. Okay.
What is that? That's not anything. It's today?
No, it's nothing. Yeah, it was today.
You're going to preview a fan... There are taglines that go out for the episodes now? Eric and the gang?
This is yesterday we played an open mic of someone singing a potential new intro for the show. It was like Eric Von Hessler and the Doctrinaires or something like that. And so, but it was just that over and over and over.
God damn it. Did you hear that stupid noise?
I did.
I muted my Slack, but I guess we've been on for so long that the pause notifications passed and people are writing me.
Well, anyway, my email is so boring. I don't have anything good.
What's the oldest email you have? Just look at the oldest and then we'll...
The oldest email I have... Do you have to like select them all or something?
No, if you're using Gmail, again, you just go to the top where it says 1 through 50 of however many, and you...
Oh, I don't have to do it because I only have 31, so I can just like go to the bottom.
No.
Yeah, I only have like one page.
And you deleted everything? You didn't archive it?
I delete it. No. I delete it.
You can archive things, you know, if you select them and press E as a shortcut. It just kind of archives them and takes them out of your inbox, but they still exist.
The one that's the oldest here is April 21st, 2022, when I got my well, not when, but it was after I'd gotten my nose pierced, and I emailed them asking what gauge it was.
When you
so that I could get
your face.
More rings. Huh?
When you ruined your face.
Yeah, I love that bullshit that people started talking to me online about. You'll never, you're single and wonder why. You're looking like a bull. Fuck you. What do you look like? Fucking, like I'm a boy dad and I've got my socks pulled up. You're wearing your stupid khaki shorts. Shut the fuck up, beer belly.
You'd be my type if you got rid of that nose ring.
Yeah, fuck off. That really pissed me off.
I'd bang you if you got rid of it.
Oh, you would? Oh, darn.
Yeah. Same kind of dude
so fucking stupid.
Who goes into the micro penis subreddit.
Yeah, right. They wouldn't, they wank it to me, their little nub.
All right. Well, we brought it full circle.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't feel bad if you delete your emails. Totally fine.
You always have these
but
weird...
it is fun. What?
You always have these weird, desperate, reaching recaps of the show at the end.
See, I don't feel like they're reaching, but I know what you're talking about because like Jared will do those things like when Eric's out where he's always throwing to traffic and he always tries to connect like somebody who doesn't have a political scandal going on, Doug Turnbull. You're like, yeah. So that's how you feel about mine?
Yeah, because you could just say, all right, thanks for listening. But
yeah, I guess I want to say a little bit more.
You better watch out. I'm going to really come after you like I went after Jared on the air the other day.
Yeah, people are saying online like, oh, that was between you and Wes Moss. They're like, oh, does Craig really hate Wes Moss?
Yeah, that I saw that thing. I don't know why Eric stirs that. You know, Wes is coming in. You two hate each other.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I have no problems with Wes.
But then you have to be like agree with him, right? Because it's like you're not going to just stop and be like, no.
Yeah, no, you're lying. You're making that up.
You're making that up for some weird reason, but okay.
But the other day on the show on Tuesday, it was right. I really did go after Jared.
You did, yeah.
I was on a roll. It just kind of came out. I apologize to him because I don't want to be mean and I don't want to make anyone feel bad.
No.
At the end of the day, especially not Jared because he's very nice.
He is very, very nice.
Even if what I said is true.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. I love you. Goodbye.